Hello everyone, welcome back to the MatatuFilmStage podcast, powered by Cinema Red Pill. My name is Timothy Nwamanya, and I'm here with alimusoke to discuss his film, The Last Shoemaker, that screened in the MatatuFilmStage. Ali, I just wanted to ask you a few questions to do with the film. It's a really brilliant film, well shot, it's well written, it shows also a very interesting story world that people haven't really seen, which is the world of like shoemaking in Uganda, which personally I also wasn't sure even existed till I actually saw your film. So I just wanted to ask, how did you come up with the concept for The Last Shoemaker?
So the Last Shoemaker concept, actually, it was a long process in the making. I always had an idea, but I didn't know how to execute it. And then I had to think about different ways to do it. And I thought also, because I always want to use metaphors in my films, and the shoe really represented the complex idea that I wanted to do in a very simplistic and poetic form. So that's when I thought about using the shoe factory or the storyline in the film as an inspiration to write this film. I wrote this script, I think, from 2015. Yeah, so I was always coming back to it. And because that's like my creative process, I write something, I let it grow, I let it mature, marinate, and then I come back to it, I adapt it, I change it, I adapt it. So basically, it was through looking at life, and I'm saying, how can I adapt this story into something that I want to do? And then that's when I came up with The Last Shoemaker.
There's just one thing at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
There's a bit of text that we see
Yeah.
where you say stories come and stories go. Then after a while, there's another one that comes that this is a parable.
Yeah.
So could you just explain that a little bit? What was your thinking behind that?
Through evolution, stories have been part of human existence. And we have had so many stories. We have learned about the Goliaths, the David, the Noahs, the Jesus, the Muhammads. All those we have learned them through stories. So stories come, stories go, but this is a parable of the story that's happening, or story that happened, and the story that's continuously happening. Yeah.
The other question I'll ask you is, how did you go about casting of this film? Because I felt from watching the film, the cast had a very good synergy between them. There are some faces who are well known, like Sarah Sauzi, who's a very well known Ugandan female actress. But then there are people who I hadn't perhaps seen, but I felt really carried the film, which I think the lead, who is Queen, played by, I think her name is Anena Missy. Yeah, I felt she was really great. So how did you go about casting and working with these actors to bring the story to life?
Throughout the writing process, I didn't know who the cast will be. And I was also worried, like, who do I cast? Because I didn't want to just unpick the actors that I know, the actors I've seen acting. So it was really crazy to come up with this cast. So we put out a call for casting, and we received a lot of entries. I don't know how many, but a lot, more than 200. But I was disappointed from all the entries. Not into they were bad people, but I couldn't really find the cast that I wanted. And then again, from the people that submitted their monologues or whatever performances we asked them to do, then I picked these two. Actually, before that, I also unpicked some other people, but when we tried out and other things happened, it didn't work out. And then so when I saw this girl's monologue, I was like, wow. In my head, I was like, I think this is her. This is the main character. This is Queen. But I was like, let me give it a try. So we called them for trials. Then we called like a couple of people to see what happens. And then when she came that day, she was not in her best mood. She was distracted. She had a lot of things going on. I don't know what was happening. But still, I think I had made it up already in my mind that this will be Queen. So, and then I was like, I'll try her out. If things fail, we will find something else. And then so we went, we started to do rehearsals with all the cast. Also, we had a challenge with finding Mama Queen because I wanted someone else to do that part, but it didn't come through. I also wanted other people to come through. They didn't. So we also went through the same process and reached out to Mama Queen, like, this is the story and we think you can be able to support the film to go forward. So I spent a lot of time with the actors. I think it was close to 2 months for a short film. But I'm like, okay, we can do it. Let's do it. So we are doing like not every day for 2 months, but we could meet like 4, 5, 6 times in a month. And then we could go through the story, read the story, understand the characters, rehearse it, and then change things, adapting. Actually, I adapted a lot of things to fit the characters so that they can now carry on the story. Yes, I was picking from them everything that I see about them, then I add it to their character so that it becomes natural and becomes part of the character.
I know you didn't particularly shoot this film. I think you had a different cinematographer,
Yeah.
Irene Fukuoka. But yeah, I think seeing your other work and even seeing this, you do have an eye for making very striking images out of like what I would say ordinary scenes or setups. So how do you cultivate that? How do you come up with these images as a director or cinematographer when you're shooting a film?
Yeah. Actually, for this film, I was very particular. Like, particular. I was not trying things as like, this is the shot I want, let's get it. We have it, let's move on. And then, so through writing the film, I already knew the style I would like this film to be shot in. Like, I don't want so many cuts, though in some scene we ended up cutting too much. I really wanted the story to flow, just to give the frame, and in that frame there is the whole story. Just look at it and just let the characters or the movement within the frame tell the story and carry the story forward. So I've worked with Isaac for so long. I think since 2013 we've been working together on so many different stuff. So I knew that it will be compatible to do it, because I also didn't want to shoot the film myself, direct it, write it, edit it. I'm like, I will miss some soup. So I needed to get some other creatives to collaborate with. So when we sat, it was actually very short because we have a synergy of working together. So I'm like, this is the style I want to go for. These are the inspiration. Look at this. And actually, I created a short list, which we discussed with him. And I'm like, this will be the short list we are going for. And then I'm like, because we are doing this short, because of this and because of it tells this story in multiple times, so it's like a poem. So since I'm a poet who writes but never exhibits, so I also try to create poetry in my frames. One frame to tell you all the things you need without saying it.
This film is set in a very particular story world, as I mentioned earlier, which is the world of shoemaking. Do you think the film has anything to say about such industries in Uganda that people, as I said, I didn't even know there were shoemaking places here? What do you think the film has to say about like just the shoemaking industry? Does it have anything to say about that? Really?
So in my own opinion, I'm using the shoe industry as a metaphor to show all other industries. And the cinema I always create is a cinema that provokes, the cinema that questions. So Shoe Factory was really a very good symbol to portray the whole image of something I wanted to tell, because I want people to know that this is not only about the shoes. So as Africans, we are experiencing a lot of things going on. So the Shoe Factory is a metaphor of all the things that are going wrong within our societies and within the problems that we are facing. So yeah, even us, me going into the film, I never knew. I was doing research online, looking at different shoe factories. I went to different small funda people making shoes. We went to Bata. I'm like, I wanted that that I don't know if I should call it rusty, but not rusty, but also something that shows that this has been in existing for long, but it's dying. And then also to see like, can this represent the poetry I want to tell in general besides the shoe factory itself? I'm using a shoe factory as an image that will carry the message across different things that as Africans, as Ugandans, we are going through. So when you look at when I look at the factory, I look at it as a symbol. Yeah.
So, did you have any particular challenges specific to this film?
Yeah.
What were the challenges you faced?
Yeah,
you said you took a while making it
Yeah.
in 2015.
Yeah.
What made it take so long?
I think in my mind, it wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready, and I didn't feel like this is the perfect form I want to make it. So I was letting it grow with me and see how things I want to change. Actually, all the films I'm yet to make, I've been writing them for years. So there's nothing new that I'm going to wake up and write. I'm always growing with my stories, changing. As a person, as you grow, you experience new things. Your knowledge improves. Your look at things improve. So I incorporate that into the story. So that's one of the reasons that it took so long. And then also finding budget to make the film. So we tried to look for budget, we tried to look for money for funders, we failed. So we had to fundraise within ourselves as a collective and be like, we are going to make film, so we need to raise money to make the film. And then we raised the money that we thought will make the film. The money was not enough to make the film. So that was a lot of stress on us. But the good thing is like we made the film. We are still in debt. We haven't paid a lot of people. But yeah, we are going to pay you people. Don't worry. Yeah. So the problem of finance, and as always, time is always against us on film. No matter how well prepared you are, we always have challenges of time. Things come that you didn't expect. You have to adapt. But in general, it wasn't so much of a challenge because we did a lot of time in prep. We spent a lot of time prepping for the film. Actually, we spent I think 6 months prepping. We shot for 3 days for the film. Yeah.
As a filmmaker, basically, who has finished making a film, what advice in general would you give other filmmakers who are just starting out to make films?
The advice I would give to filmmakers is to make films. There is no better way to learn than making films. So it becomes a challenge when you want to make a film in a particular way, in a particular style. But before all that, get your phone, make a film. Find people, make a film. And one of the greatest lessons I've learned through the filmmaking process is being observative, just looking at people and looking at life. You can learn a lot. You go in the place and you just be there, be present, and just look at life. That gives you a lot of inspiration to make. So let them make films in whatever form they can, but find education. It's very important. Creativity is good, but creativity needs to be powered with knowledge so that you make informed decision of what you want to do. Also, find a team you can work with. It's not specific that you should always work with the same team all the time, but you need to also find synergy with people that will make your work easy, that you need a support system around you. The way I work is I've built a support system around me that it doesn't feel like I'm working. So, and it doesn't come easy because now I think since I started 2010 in film, that is like 13 years now. So with 13 years, you learn along the way what things you have to do, what things you have to change, how you want to, find your voice also, what type of cinema you want to make, why you want to make it, how does it resonate to you, and all that kind of stuff. And also what I'm seeing these days is like there is a lot of photocopy in film, and people just see what Hollywood's doing, what other people are doing, and they just duplicate that. It's not bad, but I feel like me as an artist, I need to have a voice, and me as an artist, I need to have a purpose. What's my purpose? Because I understand that entertainment is for two things. They can be more, but from my perception, it's distraction and uh, distract and inform. I think like entertainment has been used that throughout history for those two major things: you distract or inform. So in whichever form you want to carry your career, just be intentional. And if you are intentional, do what you want and enjoy the process. Yeah.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Ali, and sharing your knowledge. And talking about your film, as I said, it was a great experience watching it and just seeing how the story unfolded. But thank you very much.
Thank you too. I'm so grateful for hosting me here today. Yeah, much appreciated.
That's our interview. Been speaking to alimusoke about his film The Last Shoemaker that screened at the MatatuFilmStage. And I assume will be coming to another screen near you in the future.
Yeah, no, not in the future.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
So you make sure when you see that somewhere, please check it out.